So hey guys, I'm here on a Saturday afternoon performing another job. This is my 2016 Tesla Model S. I've had this car, I want to say, since 2019. To be honest with you, I've had very little issues with it. I think since I've owned it, maybe I've replaced the door handle, maybe a fuse to the battery, and key fob key, a battery, I apologize, as well as what else did I have to do to this car? Just a very little coolant supply blower or heating element is something I had to replace. But other than that, I mean, this car has given me no issues whatsoever. It has 147,000 miles on it. And the hardest part about this car is just how boring it is. The company I worked for at the time had chargers. Someone had ran into the back of my Audi. And so, after doing my research, I said, why not? No gas, no electric, because my company's paying for it. And it's been lights out ever since. But I will tell you, it's never a good sign when you're driving home from work and 7 Tesla Model S's just like yours all have a blown driver's headlight. And so I went on the Tesla app and basically put in, that I need a headlight. It was flickering, it was going out, it was very intermittent, and then eventually it just went. I was a bit astounded when Tesla told me it was going to cost me $3,000. So at that point, I told them, put my car back together and I'll be there to pick it up. So basically, the driver's side headlight did go out. Tesla only replaces the entire headlight. My daytime running lights are not an issue. The headlight's not cracked. So the fact that they wanted to replace the whole assembly is just kind of beyond me. But at this point, I decided to order a headlight myself. And as any of you know, when I post a video, my thought process is that someone else has had a similar issue. And so I kind of want to post it just to save you a couple dollars. Now, I already replaced the driver's side, which was the issue. That was kind of like the guinea pig, just to make sure that I got this right. The headlight that I decided to go with was kind of like a middle of the road. It was, I got it from Amazon. I believe I paid $25. It was on sale. And so if you see that, it's a Dimex stock Xenon headlight. Now mine initially, I believe, let me see here. And this is what it looks like, just to give you an idea. It's a D3S 35 watt. Now, the ones that I had in there were 6,000 K. These are 8,000. So I just decided to go up a notch. And these are a little more blue than the stock headlights. But for reference, I'll show you the stock headlights. And this is what I pulled out. So this is a Gen 1 DS3. So this is what I pulled out, and you can clearly see inside why that went bad. Now, that being said, I take the wheel off. It's no big deal. Just make sure you torque it at 130 foot-pounds. But some of the forums actually say that if you have the adjustable height, the air suspension, that you can lift it and turn the wheel. I can tell you by doing the driver's side, I'd much rather take the wheel off. Yeah, it's kind of a pain, but I'd rather take the wheel off. So I'm going to go ahead and get started, try to make this video as short as possible, and hopefully, you can ride along with me while we get this thing done. So again, this headlight was only 25 bucks. So Tesla can keep their $3,000. So essentially what I'm going to do first is the side panels are actually held in by clips. There are 4 of them, as well as another on the bottom. What I did on the other side, I didn't want to take the whole thing apart, so I kind of just took apart the inside here, the 2 clips at the top, and then the 3rd clip on the side. That was what I did on the driver's side. Looking at the passenger side, it looks to be set up similarly, so I should not have an issue. The biggest problem with this was like clip orientation, but I'll make sure I zoom in and show you as soon as I take the light out. So inside there's a 10mm that I'm going to take out for this insulation. I believe on the passenger side there's like a temp set, so you can't just pull this thing right out anyway. A lot of the places I've read say that you'll rip it out. But all right, so that's 1 10mm that I just took out. What did I do with my screwdriver? Got a light here. So what am I going to do? As soon as I pull it out, I got this pry bar right here. I'm just gonna pull that clip right out. That's 1 clip. That's a smaller clip, goes on the inside. I know that because when you put it on the other side, as I did on the other side, it actually would not go in all the way. So again, I'm gonna take this. And a lot of people say that these clips are like hard to get out or they break. You know, maybe somebody was in mine, but I haven't found that to be an issue. And so as I pull this off and gently pry this, I'm gonna pull these clips on the side. Some people complain they break. Hopefully I don't have that problem, but so far it's been pretty good. And so these are the clips that we're talking about right now. And then there's a clip right here on the insulation that also has to come out. So I'll take that out. This one's a little bit harder to get to. Kind of turn this around a little bit. So that's clip number 3 that's coming off. And I actually try to keep mine typically, you know, I got a memory, but if you keep them kind of in an area where you took them off, it recalls a little bit better, and that's what I do. So now this entire panel should actually just come right out, with the exception of the clip that I had started taking out in the beginning of the video at the top, which I was hoping to avoid, but it looks like that's got to come out too. So simple, not a big deal. Just get my tool up there. So that's clip number 4. All right. So inside this fender, there's actually a lip. There's going to be a lot of dirt and debris that comes out when you try to pull this out. So just to let you know, prepare you to be careful. I was saturated, but there's a kind of lip up there where this actually just sits up and rests inside. And you kind of just want to pull it out. All that road debris comes right out. Dusty. Okay. Now, try to get some light in here. Try to do this the best I can. If you can see in there, let me go get a better light for you. Hopefully you can see. Let me just, this is what you're gonna be looking for. It's gonna be a little seal in there. I actually had stopped before I tried to do this to kind of talk to a Tesla mechanic, and he kept giving me the runaround, talking about it's sealed and so forth and all. No, it's just a rubber cover. Pops right off. That's it. Rubber cover. And so now we get to the fun part. Let me make sure I have as much lighting as possible so that everyone can kind of see what's about to go on. Because obviously, what's the point of having a video if I'm not showing you exactly what needs to be done to get the job done? So, gotta forgive me. Hopefully you can see that, but the light is right inside there. Now there's going to be a clip. All you have to do is pull that clip out, and once you pull that clip out, there's like a lip on it. The light's going to come right out. I'll show you. All right, you heard that clip? All right, so now I'm getting ready to pull this light out. And by the way, there was nothing wrong with the passenger. Passenger was fine, but obviously, since I'm replacing the driver, you know, I needed to replace, I might as well replace both. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna replace both, so. Now, if you see here, there goes your light bulb, there goes the clip, and then there's a 2-prong that just comes off at the bottom that just pulls. So I'm actually gonna save this light just in case I run into any issues. But you see, that's where it pulls at the bottom, and then that's your light, and that's the clip. Now, this is important. You wanna make sure that you notate exactly where this is, because you actually, the new light bulb does not come with this. You have to take this off and you have to add it to the new light bulb. So let me get the new light bulb. So that's the new one. You see there, same thing. Just this clip has to come off. So let me just pry this clip off and make sure I don't mess up the new light bulb. But you just essentially make sure you remember exactly where it was, pry it off, boom, comes off, just like that. Now, I will tell you this, getting it in on the driver's side was a bit of an adventure. If you look at that clip, I hope you can see it, there's 2 right here that are actually pried up. Those were bent in. So when I was actually trying to put it in initially, on the driver's side, I was unable to because those were bent. So I just had to adjust those tabs and everything worked out great. So let's go ahead. Make sure we put this on the right way. So when you go to the top, pushes right on. And then that's the way you want it. So closed is counterclockwise. Well, if you're facing it, closed is counterclockwise. And if you're facing it open, is clockwise. So closed is counter, open is clockwise. So now it's that simple. Tesla wanted $3,000 for this, and they said it was sealed and you couldn't get in it. Listen, I'm not trying to take any money away from Tesla. Tesla's been great to me. All the money that I've been saved by not putting gas in this car, and the maintenance. Let me explain something to you. I own nice toys as a result of this. So, you know what? I'm not getting mad at it, but if I can do something myself, if you can do something yourself, I'd rather you do it that way. So, and then lastly, if I forget this, before you close this all up, just test it to make sure the light bulb works. You know, I don't know where you're getting your light bulbs from. Some people go for the cheapest. Some people go for the most expensive. I typically go for middle of the road. But what I normally do is I look at the reviews. So if 2,000 people have bought it and it's 4.8 out of 5 stars, I'm fine with that. That tells me that that's a good product. You know, some people will spend 3 or 4 times the amount, but then when you look at the reviews, only 30 people bought it. So reviews can be skewed. So typically I like to go middle of the road. I don't go cheap. I don't go too high. But still, depending on what you buy, just make sure you test it. So now I'm actually just going to put this thing back in. So this was facing the bottom. So I'm going to snap this back in. And then you got to make sure that cord is not in the way. It's got to be under the housing. And so when you put it in back inside, and I wish I could give you a better angle. Trying to do the best I can here. And then you'll feel it lock. Once you feel it lock, you take that one lip on that and you tighten it. Which I probably am not going to be able to do, since I'm telling you how to do it. This is just opposite. Take my gloves off of this. It's not a lot of room, and that's the only issue with that. It's not a lot of room at all. Well, you know what? Let me check to make sure those clips that I was telling you about aren't in my way. Seem to be, but I'll just to make sure. Okay, make sure this is open. So when it's inside, I gotta go this way. So that's that, and there's a tab in there that actually you will have to line up the light bulb before you can lock it on. So, and that's locked. No room at all in there. Get a finger in there. All right. So what I'm doing is on the passenger, I would say on the right side, there's a tab that I'm pressing down on to lock this thing into place, because the one on the other side doesn't seem to be giving me enough wiggle room. So All right, it's in there. So like I said in the beginning, you just want to make sure that it turns on before you lock all this up, which isn't a whole lot of clips. You know, I hope I've helped somebody today with this. I definitely helped myself by saving $2,975. So I'm pretty happy. It only took me about less than 20 minutes aside. That's including taking the wheel off. So until we meet again, YouTube, thank you and enjoy your Saturday. Go Birds.